Welcome. In front of me is a Google Pixel 10 and today I will show you how you can import contacts from your SIM card to the device. Now I do want to point out that this will be primarily for people that I believe live in Europe, as the US version of this device, as far as I know, does not have a SIM card tray, and I don't actually think you can have contacts stored on an eSIM, but I can be wrong. So that's what I'll be using, a physical SIM card that is in a device, because I do have a actual tray. So in any case, we're going to start off by opening up our contacts application. No, we don't need notifications. Then we're going to navigate to Organize, and you want to select Manage SIM. Give it a moment. Should load our contacts in a second. Let's not expect too much, it's just a $900 device. Okay, so once it loads these contacts, and yes, there's only 3 of them, and it took it well more than it should have. From here, you can see it automatically tries to default to importing them to your Google account. I personally dislike this. These are not my numbers. These are, for instance, or if they were, like, these would be my friends' family numbers. Maybe they don't want Google to have their contact information. Just saying. So that's basically what you're doing when you're importing into the cloud. So I personally like to just switch it to the device and store them physically on the phone itself instead of giving Google all the data. They don't need to gobble up everything. Just saying. And I just personally prefer everything to be stored locally. I like to have control over everything, which I know it's kind of moronic to use Android for that, but you know. Anyway, so here we have our contacts. And you can also see that the moment I switched it to the device, automatically all of them became selected, well, before they were grayed out and just deselected. The reason for that is these contacts already exist on the Google account, and the device is just stopping me from duplicating these contacts onto the same kind of location. You know, Google likes to gobble up the data, but they just don't want to duplicate it. So here, once you select a location where you don't already have these contacts, you can maybe deselect some of them that you don't want. Click on import, and again, Google and their creepy ways, they want to get rid of these contacts from your SIM card by default, just because you will be then forced to rely on their cloud storage primarily. That's what they're trying to get you to do, and they will also be popping up from time to time with the back up your contacts kind of BS. I don't recommend ever getting rid of your contacts from the SIM card. They're there as a backup if you ever need them, and it's moronic to even ask you to delete those. Go at yourself with this question. Now the reason I consider this to be an absolute stupid, moronic, and downright scammy way is because we can sort our contacts. We have device and Google account, and well and behold, there is no SIM card displayed contacts, so they never actually show up here. Therefore, this logic to delete these contacts is absolutely moronic. So yeah, that's just kind of my approach here. I don't recommend doing that. If you ever need to, you can just swap out your card to another device, and would you look at that, you actually have your contacts still without needing to do anything. So yeah. Now the contacts that you have imported will be visible somewhere. For me, and you most likely as well, by default it will show all contacts, which means from your Google accounts, all the accounts, and also the device. But you can also switch it to all contacts, or just whatever else you want. So with that being said, hopefully you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.